Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the game according to me. Once again, we're going to talk about what's going on in our college and pro football games, what happened last week, and what's happening this upcoming week. So, and as always, we start with college football. Like I said, let's start with college football. And how about this one? The worst loss in the history of the Red River rivalry between Texas and Oklahoma for Oklahoma. 49-0, got shut out. Brent Venables was a defensive genius when he was at Clemson, and he's lost the last 3 games getting smoked by their opponents. But Texas, they're looking good as ever, so got to give them credit for that. College Day went to Lawrence for KU, and they almost had it. Unfortunately, their quarterback got hurt. Starting quarterback got hurt. Backup came in and played very well for Kansas, but it just wasn't enough for TCU. They win 38-31. Tennessee, big time domination of Brian Kelly's LSU Tigers, 40-13. Mississippi State took down Arkansas 40-17. A lot of blowouts in the top 25 last week. Michigan beat Indiana 31-10. Cincinnati snuck by South Florida 28-24. Oklahoma State beat Texas Tech in another Big 12 showdown of all offense and no defense 41-31. Georgia beat Auburn 42-10. UCLA took down Utah 42-32. Ohio State beat Michigan State 49-20. Mississippi beat Vanderbilt 52-28, almost doubled them in points. Did Mississippi? James Madison beat Arkansas State 42-20. First time James Madison ranked in the top 25. They're number 25. Go James Madison. Kansas State beat Iowa State 10-9. South Carolina beat Kentucky 24-14. USC beat Washington State 30-14. In a game fit for the Iowa Hawkeyes this year, the Illinois Fighting Illini beat Iowa 9-6. Clemson smoked Boston College 31-3. Wake Forest beat Army 45-10. Florida State lost to NC State by a squeaker 19-17. Oregon beat Arizona 49-22. But maybe the game of the night last Saturday was Alabama and Texas A&M. Prime time in Tuscaloosa, could get no better than that. And Texas A&M had a chance. They had a chance to take down Alabama for the second year in a row. But for some reason, Jimbo Fisher called a play where it was going to go to a receiver who was out on his own and was by himself. And I just didn't get that. And the quarterback threw it 3 feet out of bounds, nowhere near the receiver. Bad play, bad execution of the play. There should have been some type of rub route, some type of pick route, something like that. I would have even taken a run over whatever they called and did in Tuscaloosa. Stopped them from beating Alabama, squeaked by Alabama 24, Texas A&M 20. That was unreal. That was totally unreal. So as we look to this week in the top 25, Illinois hosts. They're ranked for the first time in a long time. 24th ranked Illinois Fighting Illini. They will host Minnesota. PJ Fleck will have his boys ready in Minnesota. Texas hosts Iowa State. Mississippi will host Auburn. Kansas will host. We go to Oklahoma. Kansas get back on track, and Oklahoma stop the losing streak. There's a report I saw on Twitter that the Kansas quarterback was going to be out for the year, and then he quote tweeted and said, "News to me." So we'll see what happens this Saturday. Michigan ranked 5th against Penn State ranked 10th. This is going to be a Donnybrook You know, it's gonna be fun. Just it should be a good time. Another 12 o'clock start for Michigan in the Central Time Zone, or even in the Eastern Time Zone, maybe. Yeah, it is Eastern Time Zone, and it's another game on Fox. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt with the call. Gonna be fun. Oklahoma is at TCU. That should be a good one. You know, TCU's undefeated. Oklahoma State's I think it's undefeated. They may have lost one game, but it's going to be a smoke show. I think no doubt about it. Now, how about this? 15th ranked NC State versus 18th ranked Syracuse. Another great matchup between ranked teams this week. This is a big week for the rankings, and this is a week. This is a good one as it comes just 2 weeks, or maybe let's just say 10 days before the first CFF rankings. So this is going to be great. A lot of teams fighting for those positions in the top 10. Georgia will have the well, I who thought Georgia was going to have trouble with Missouri, but I'm going to say this is a game against Vanderbilt that they should handle very well. Probably the game of the day in Tennessee. It's the third Saturday in October. Alabama versus Tennessee. Number third ranked Alabama versus the sixth ranked Tennessee. This is a big game for both of these two clubs. I don't know if Bryce Young is going to play in this one. They still may go to the Monroe kid, but this is going to be this is the first time Alabama and Tennessee, the third Saturday in October, is going to be meaningful in the SEC. James Madison takes on Georgia Southern, excuse me. Mississippi State takes on Kentucky. Clemson is at Florida State. And the seventh ranked USC Trojans, who came out of nowhere, is going to take on the 20th ranked Utah Utes. Can the Utah Utes take down the USC Trojans, who has been a shock in the Pac-12 this year? Some thought that this was going to be a kind of a rebuild year, so to speak, maybe a retool year, new offense, new coach, new quarterback, other things for USC. But they've come out and they've just been incredible this year. So we'll see if the Utes can take down the USC Trojans. Before we get to college football, let's quickly recap what went down this past Saturday at Extreme Rules. It was a very solid show. Led off with the good old fashioned Donnybrook match between the Brawling Brutes and Imperium. Brawling Brutes won. It was four. I gave it 4 stars. Hell of a match. Gunther, Sheamus, Ridge, and Butch, and Giovanni and Ludwig are doing fantastic work. This is something that I would love to see keep it continue somehow. Um, and we'll see about Sheamus trying to get that Intercontinental Championship. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. It was a pretty okay match until they got to a part where they were trying to do something in the corner and they didn't get everything right, and it went all downhill from there. So that was unfortunate. Ronda Rousey did win. Um, and there's 2 3/4 stars. Ronda Rousey should be the SmackDown Women's Champion. Liv Morgan just it's like the chase for the championship is good, but then when she gets it, what's it supposed to be? So yeah, the strap match between Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross was very good. Give it 3 stars. Ending with Scarlett Bordeaux spraying pepper spray in Drew McIntyre's eyes was incredible. she laid it in there. So um, good on her. Good match. Karrion Kross won as he should have. And yeah, we'll see if that feud continues on Friday. The ladder match between Bayley and Bianca Belair. I also gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really good. First ever um, single female one-on-one ladder match. Thought it was good. That was great, and it took some um it took some time for these ladies, and I think they did a great job. The I Quit match between Finn Balor and Edge was great, especially the final end with all of the drama. We knew the only way Edge was going to say I quit was had something to do with Beth Phoenix or his family or something like that, and that's exactly what happened. And of course, they put down and not Beth, Rhea knocked her out with some brass knuckles. Gave her the concerto, uh, and then it's I quit, I quit, don't do it, I quit, I quit. And she said, you taught us too well, and gave it to her anyway. And so put Beth on the mat out of commission. So we'll see where that goes. I think we're gonna head somewhere to where Beth Phoenix is gonna face Rhea Ripley, and Edge is gonna do he's going to run a gauntlet match. I think he's probably gonna do a gauntlet match where if he can run through the gauntlet of Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio, the Judgment Day will disband. And of course, he'll get through one. The first one will probably be Dominic. He'll probably get through the second one, which will be Damian, and then he'll have to face Finn Balor, and and they'll Dominic and Damien will, or Henry will probably make it unfortunate that Edge can't do it. They may even do like Edge has been talking about retirement and something like that sometimes. So what they may do is they may just have it do that, and then maybe it's a retirement match where if he can't run through the gauntlet, he retires, and if he does run through the gauntlet, then the Judgment Day will disband. So it could be something like that. That'd be a good thing. I give it 4.25 stars. That was really fun. And of course, the fight pit match, I give it 3 stars. Um, Very okay. Um, for the first one up on the thing, I think on the main roster, I think they'll maybe get to the point to where they can work out all the kinks and things like that, so that it may be a little bit better and something like that, and how's this supposed to go? So, um, but yeah, it was good to see the fight pit on top of on the main roster. So yeah, that was and of course you can't forget at Extreme Rules what happened after that. The return of Bray Wyatt. Everybody's psyched up for that. He's gonna be on SmackDown this Friday, so we'll see what he has in store. For me, I want to wait and see what he's going to do, what character he's going to do, and what's going to happen. Because if we're going to try to get some more other stuff and with the Fiend and things like that, then I'm not for that. Yeah, so but we'll see what happens. Okay, so now let's go to the NFL. Start with last week's Thursday night game. It was an ugly one, but the Colts won in overtime, 12-9. Broncos had a chance to win. Russell Wilson was just staring down his receiver, did not read his defense, and did not see KJ Hamler wide open. Fourth, the ball was knocked away by Stephen Gilmore. Colts win 12-9. Sunday, an upset over across the pond in London. The Giants beat the Packers 27-22. Packers are just, they're not what they used to be with Aaron Rodgers and things like that, and that can be fine. They probably need to do what Dallas does and run the ball a bit more for them to win, but it's okay. And the New York Giants, 4-1, just the only loss they have is to the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll see what happens in that division. The NFC East is looking very, very strong. And speaking of strong, the Patriots were strong, shutting out the Lions. Lions are one of the top teams in scoring offense, and just they didn't score anything. And I'm just not sure what's going on with them. Dan Campbell's going for every fourth down. The Lions' defense is just garbage. I don't know what happened to them. I tell you, it's just it's disappointing because you root for all those guys for being on we're seeing on hard knocks, and they're just not getting it right now. They need. I think they have a bye this week, so maybe I think so. We'll find out when we check out the week 6 lineup. But yeah, it's been a tough start for the Lions so far. Chargers beat the Browns 30-28. You don't talk about going for it on fourth down. Brandon Staley is really just confusing everybody with his going for it on fourth down here and going fourth down there. Even confusing his own wide receiver. Kenyon Allen wasn't playing. It was sit out with an injury, and he was tweeting, "What the hell are we doing, bro? What's going on?" So analytics is starting to get into football, and it's starting to ruin football, just like it ruined basketball and ruined a little bit of the NBA as well. But the Chargers overcame all of those fourth down mistakes, beat the Browns 30-28. Texans got their first win of the season, beat the Chargers, beat the Jaguars, 13-6. Buccaneers beat the Falcons 21-15. Biggest thing to come from this game is the egregious calling of roughing the passer against Grady Jarrett. And it was just an awful call. It really was. That is something that we've seen for years, where the defensive lineman has the quarterback by the race and kind of rolls over and throws him on the ground, and they called roughing the pass. I don't know if it's because of the Tua Tagovailoa situation. It wasn't called on Monday night in the Chiefs game. That same thing that happened to Brady happened to Mahomes, and it was not called. So I'm not sure what is going on here. Another roughing the passing call was called, and we'll talk about that. But it's just whatever it is. It's Jerome Boger's an awful official. He was officiating the Buccaneers Falcons game, and he's an awful official, and he really needs to be let go. Bills smoked the Steelers 38-3. I am shocked by that score because I would have thought that Steelers is a team coached by Mike Tomlin. I would have thought, yeah, Buffalo's gonna win, but it was a 14-point spread. I think I would have thought no, there's no way, you know, of course the Steelers are gonna cover that spread. There's no way the Bills are gonna beat them, by 14 points. And my God, now they beat them by 31 points, 37, yeah, 31, no, 35 points. Excuse me. Just incredible, incredible. It's the Steelers are just not that great right now. It's a shame. The Jets beat the Dolphins 40-17. Teddy Bridgewater in that game got concussed. He's in concussion protocol along with Tua Tagovailoa. They went to the rookie Skylar Thompson, and unfortunately he couldn't do anything. Jets roll. Brees Hall had 100 yards rushing, 100 yards receiving, almost had 100 yards rushing, 97 yards to be exact. Great day for him. The Jets uh, beat the Dolphins, smoke them 40-17, and it's surprising 3-2 New York Jets. Vikings beat the Bears 29-22. Justin Fields played his best game of the year. But it couldn't be stopped. The Vikings had a 21-point advantage. Start off the game. Cousins was hot and he was on fire, completing his first 17 passes. Incredible day for the Vikings, and they did let the Bears come back, but they in the end got the victory, 29-22. Titans beat the Commanders 21-17. Uh, a pick by Carson Wentz at the end of the game to solidify for the Titans, and then afterwards, Ron Rivera talks about that the quarterback position isn't what it should be, and that's the reason why the other teams in the East are better than them. Uh, you know, I think there was a better way of saying that. I don't think he should. I don't think because the way he's talked about it, it almost as if he's blaming Carson Wentz for it. But I think it's he could have been more specific about it being if he's gonna say that he should talk about it being a position that they have not been able to um, find out who the guy is over the last couple of years, and they've run through Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace, Taylor Heineke, and now um, Carson Wentz. So that's he could have said it in a better way, but throwing the quarterback under the bus like that, we'll see what happens. Um, one of the surprising games of the weekend, surprisingly good games. The Saints beat the Seahawks 39-32. Taysom Hill, 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 1 throwing. Again, I have no idea why they went to Jameis Winston. I think they should have went to Taysom Hill, and I think that because they're still using Taysom Hill like they're using him before, instead of just being him fully tight end, they should have just went to him at the quarterback instead of Jameis Winston. You should let Jameis Winston towards ACL, let him test free agency, see if someone pick him up, and went with Taysom Hill as your quarterback. I think you'd be a lot better off than you are right now. But surprisingly beat the Seahawks. And Geno Smith in Seattle is playing absolutely well. Remember, I had Geno Smith ranked as my 32nd quarterback of the NFL. In my quarterback rankings list, you can go find that on YouTube or wherever you find um, this podcast. You can go back and check the older episodes of my quarterback ranking. I had him at 32, but he's not playing like the 32nd quarterback in this league. He's playing like he's a top, dare I say, 10 quarterback, 12 quarterback. So, amazing job Joe Smith has done. Panthers lost to the 49ers 15-37 and fired Matt Rule. Steve Wilkes will take over. Baker Mayfield has a high ankle sprain. He won't play for a couple of weeks. Going to go to PJ Walker. And yes, let's talk about the Panthers doing a fire sale. So we'll see if that happens. Eagles beat the Cardinals 2017. Kyler Murray at the end of the game slid early and didn't get the first down. Clocked it on third down instead of first down. Had to go for a field goal, and and the kicker missed it. So Eagles remain undefeated, 2017. Cowboys beat the Rams 22-10. Cowboys defense is insane. Micah Parsons is insane. He might be one of the I still think it's going to be Josh Allen, but he could take votes away from Josh Allen. Maybe the first defensive player to win the MVP since Lawrence Taylor. So, let me see. Ravens snuck by the Bengals 19-17. And Monday Night Football, Chiefs snuck by the Raiders. Again, this some crazy go for two calls in this game. I'm not sure why these people are going for two when they don't need to. It happened with the Raiders and both happened with the Chiefs. And that's one of the big things coming out of this game. But the biggest is, of course, Chris Jones, defensive tackle for the Chiefs, forced a fumble on Derek Carr and recovered it, but was called for roughing the passer because he put his body down on Derek Carr. Now, this goes back to another Raiders quarterback, Rich Gannon, when he got when he got Tony Siragusa's body weight thrown down on him in the year 2000. And I think that's when it was in that game, the AFC Championship game, and he was taken out of the game, and the Ravens won, and went on to go to the Super Bowl. I believe that's what the body weight rule is. It starts from, and I can understand it. It looks like that he pushed all his body weight down on him, on Derek Carr, but he doesn't. And he forced a fumble. The referee had a bad angle, couldn't see it. Referee called shuffle, so he called it roughing the passer. Um, but this is now starting as something where they want to review roughing the passer, and I don't think they should because one, again, I think it just doesn't make sense. And two, it's going to be like reviewing pass interference. They're going to call it, and then the people are going to challenge it, and they're going to stick with the call on the field. And that's just the way it's going to be. They're not going to overturn it when it's like that. So I don't think that's the way to do it. So I think they're just everybody's mad right now. And again, people are saying that this is a reaction to Tua Tagovailoa's injury. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just two bad calls. Or in the Falcons game with Grady Jarrett and on Monday night with Chris Jones. But whatever it is, it's just it's it's got to stop. I think they need to end and I hope it will be, but I don't think it will because I think they might try to course correct it during the season, and that's something that I don't think they should do. So now let's look at this week's games starting tomorrow. The Commanders go against the Chicago Bears. Can Justin Field continue his momentum that he started with the game against the Vikings, or will the Commanders shut that down and can Carson Wentz get back on track, prove to his coach that he's just it's not all on him. The defense isn't that great as well. We'll wait and see. Sunday's action. The Ravens and the Giants. That should be a good one. Can the Ravens, you know, stop the locomotive train that is the New York Giants, and or will the Giants just continue to run all over teams, and including these Baltimore Ravens, the Jaguars and the Colts. Colts need to get back in this division. They need a win over the Jaguars, and Jaguars after giving up Houston's first loss, they want to get back on track with a win over the Colts in the division. Patriots at the Browns. Once again, will Bailey Zappi be the quarterback? He's played very well in 2 games. Filling in for one game, filling in for Brian Hoyer, and then starting the past game against the Lions. I mean, the Browns, they had a chance to win some games, that they lost. This game should be a game that they should be able to win. But as we saw, with the Lions, the Patriots are not going to go down without a fight. So they need to do what they need to do to get a victory here and stay within range in the division. The Bengals are at the Saints. Saints going to keep that home momentum continued um, in New Orleans, but the Bengals want to get back on track after losing to the Ravens. Good game should be down there in New Orleans. Buccaneers at the Steelers. From what I've seen, this should be maybe a total blowout, and then maybe this helps Tampa Bay get their offense back on track. Because I'm shocked at what the Steelers did again last week. So I just don't know. 49ers at the Falcons. Falcons, they're disheartening. They didn't even get a chance to try to make a comeback because it was a third down play. It would have been off the field. The Buccaneers would have had to punt, and they would have had some time left on the clock to try to go downfield and get a touchdown, get a field goal, whatever. But that just didn't happen. And the 49ers are just keep it continued as they normally do. Well, just running the ball, playing defense, and Jimmy Garoppolo just doing what he does best. So winning. So we'll see what happens in that game. Jets at the Packers. Jets coming in 3-2. Packers are 3-2. On paper, this should be a win for the Packers, but hell, it's always going to be a win for the Packers over the Jets, and that didn't happen. So we'll have to just see what is up with these two teams. Packers, Jets might be a good one. Vikings at the Dolphins. Don't know about Tua. Teddy Bridgewater probably isn't going to play. So if it's not Tua, it's going to be Skylar Thompson starting for the Dolphins. I think this is an easy pick for anybody who wants to who's doing Eliminator. If you have not chosen the Minnesota Vikings, I would think to choose Minnesota Vikings here. Minnesota wants to keep their momentum going. Have another big day from Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins. Panthers at the Rams. This should be Rams' chance to get back into the NFC title picture. Just make some good plays against the Panthers. They're rolling downhill, looking to be one of the worst teams in the league. So Rams should smoke the Panthers right here. Cardinals at the Seahawks. This is a division game. Cardinals need this. Seahawks need this. And it's all about, you know, what is going to be the lasting legacy of Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. There are already talks about these things not working and both of these guys need to go or something like that, or the coach needs to go. So I don't know, but you need to go in Seattle, a tough place to win and win if you're the Cardinals. And Seahawks, you've been playing great ball. Geno Smith's been balling out. See, let's keep it continue. The game of the week, Bills and Chiefs. This is going to be what everybody wants. Everybody wants to watch. Everybody wants to see. Can no, but now last year the Buffalo went into Kansas City and they won. In the regular season, of course, we now know that great game that happened in the championship game. So this is what it is now. This basically maybe choosing who gonna have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Chiefs win, and it's probably going to be the Chiefs. If the but if the Bills win, they will have the tiebreaker if both teams go lossless the rest of the season. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a matchup. The two best quarterbacks in the game right now, Josh Allen, in my opinion, the best one, and then of course Patrick Mahomes, just the automatic number two. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a hell of a watch. I think this if you know I would say this, everybody should be watching this. This should be the highest most watched game of the season. Sunday Night Football, we got the Cowboys and the Eagles. This is a battle for the top of the NFC East, where the Eagles beat the Cowboys and stay on track. Can they do stuff with that defense, or is it just going to be another grand old time for Jalen Hurts and that offense? We have to wait and see. And then on Monday Night Football, the Broncos at the Chargers. Can Russell Wilson get his offense in check? Can he get him in check? A lot of people now are talking about Russell Wilson and talking about maybe not only his play on the field, but his attitude off the field. Not a lot of people think that he's a genuine person, a and it's been like that ever since he first came in. I remember there were some talks about the people in his locker room not liking him because he was married to a white woman when he was a young player, and the fact that they didn't think he was a genuine person. And I felt like that Russell Wilson tried to become something that he is not. Um, his relationship with Sierra, I think, is. Some people think that is how it should be. I feel like it is a facade. It is facade from him. I don't think that she. I don't think he really. He may love her, but I don't think he loves her the way that she should be loved, unconditionally. Things like that. I think he loves her because it makes him look better in some. It might make him look better in some people's eyes because he's with a black woman now, and now he has kids. He's a family man. I think it's a facade, and I truly hope I'm wrong about that because I think to do that to see it Sierra, who was coming off of her relationship with Future. I think she wanted to find the one, someone who's going to be her, love her and cherish her the way she deserves. And I don't know. Yeah, so I have all kinds of thoughts on Russell Wilson off the field. And the Chargers, listen, again, they need to stop. Brandon Staley needs to show that he can just be a good coach and stop trying to outsmart people and things like that. So he needs to do what he needs to do Monday night against the Broncos, and hopefully he won't be going for it on 4th and 9 from the midfield, which with in fourth quarter with 3 minutes left or something like that. So and he's on top. His team is leading. So that's that. That's week 6 in the National Football League. Hey guys, thank you again for joining me on another edition of the Game According to Me. We'll be back next Wednesday as usual, previewing next week's action and recapping what happened this week in both college and Pro. And maybe we'll also talk about the MLB, MLB playoffs, as there'll be a week or two into that. So we'll may talk a little bit about that next week as well. So please, if you like what you hear, please go to anchor.fm /under Triplet Show and subscribe for 3 tiers, 99¢, $4.99, or $9.99. You choose what you like. I'm just happy and grateful that you are listening and you are sharing this podcast. But if you do want to help more out, you can do it that way. Or you can go to patreon.com/AJTRIP and become a patron. And once I hit a certain amount of patrons, you will be able to determine what you hear on my other podcast, The Word According to Me, what you see, what videos you want me to do on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/AJTrip, or what video games I play on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ATriplet20. Yeah, it has to be a game that I already have, though. So, yeah. Do all of that. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. This is your boy, AJTrip, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.